Okay, hi everybody. This is a find I just made at a local thrift store, vintage store called Value Village here in Canada. And it is in really rough shape, but I wanted to show it to you because it has nostalgic value to me as a kid growing up playing board games, and then, of course, watching a ton of TV. Particularly when I was at my grandmother's house, we watched a ton of Gilligan's Island and reruns. This is, of course, based on the animated series, The New Adventures of Gilligan. And this is an IP, an intellectual property that has changed hands, clearly, over the years. You'll find a version of this on Board Game Geek that is more about the live-action TV series that ran for 3 seasons, starting in 1964. And this is, again, based on that animated series and looks like a repackaging of the old game, but under the animated series banner. And as you can see, it's called a setup and play game. It's got a 3-dimensional element. You can see all the components, of which there are very few, depicted right here on the box. And I'm just going to open it up to show you what's inside. You can, of course, see as I open it that it is in super rough shape. You clearly can see that the person has put some masking tape here. It is really ratched, and it has a feel much like a cereal box. It's a very, very cheap cardboard. You can see right here, it is the MB Key to Fun and Learning. It is for ages only 6 till 12. It's quite prescriptive here, and it is a roll and move game. And you can see that Somerville Industries Limited is the distributor and publisher, with London, Ontario, Canada here. And as we flip it over, you can see a little bit more information on the side of the box. Of course, this is the Gilligan's Island New Adventures game, and it's the first Back to the Hut. So a little tough to read there, but you can see it's Be the First Back to the Hut. So again, a roll and move. And again, it's super delicate, so I'm going to be really careful holding it. I'm actually loath to even build this thing, which is basically a 3-dimensional element in the game. It's a fun puzzly part because the little tabs here you can see are quite distressed. And as I pick up this largest piece here with the hut depicted, you can see that this particular piece is really distressed. It's actually almost falling off. And you can see right here instructions on how to build this. I'm not going to do that right now because there's some remediation I really want to do to this game. And you can see all the components inside. I'm going to put these very delicate pieces to one side. I'm just going to pop it under the box right here. And you can see there are some cards in the game, very classic roll and move cards with instructions. And you can see they're almost like tickets you might see at an old-timey raffle, or the cardboard is quite flimsy with instructions on the roll and move element of this game. You got get off the path where you are in French and English. Everybody move ahead 1 space, and instructions like that. Quite basic, not very many of them. And I'm just going to set them to one side right here. And you can see it's a 2-player only game with just these 2 pieces right here. And you've got a very kind of weathered, old, yellowed looking dice right here. The big star of this show, of course, is beyond that puzzly hut piece. You can see that this is a roll and move game, and you've got that start right here and finish right here. And of course, the professor was always my favorite character in the game. Everyone should have listened to him more. That applies to real life as well. And there's Mary Ann. You've got Mr. Howell and Lovey. And of course, Ginger and the skipper right here. And there are various pitfalls on the roll and move track. You've got fall in pool or fell in pool, lose 1 turn, no passing. You've got Gilligan cards right here, which of course are those cards that we just saw, and you put them right here. And I guess he's helping you throughout the game. That's the conceit, very not thematic. But there it is. And of course, we've got Skipper right here and near his beached schooner where they started out on their 3-hour tour. So once again, this is based upon the original live action game and later the animated series. The live action television show ran for 3 seasons, launching in 1964. I thoroughly enjoyed it as a kid. It's a little hard to watch now for me, but because of various reasons. But it is a very nostalgic thing to have this in my collection. And this was the New Adventures of Gilligan. I'm just going to put everything back in the box, and you can see all the various pieces arrayed. Again, such a delicate thing because it is very much like a cereal box quality cardboard, so I'm scared to do very much with this, but this is the New Adventures of Gilligan, the board game. You've seen the components inside. I have many such games as this one. They're old, they're nostalgic, and I really love having them in my collection. Probably won't see a lot of gameplay, but I love the retro vintage quality, and it really does bring me back to the old world of the 70s and 80s board games that I played as a kid. If you're a Gen Xer like me, let me know what you thought of this and whether this brings back any memories to you. Do you have a copy of the New Adventures of Gilligan? I'd love to hear from you. Do you also like to collect odd board games like me? I'd again love to hear from you. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe if you like more videos like this one, or share it with a friend. And I really appreciate you listening. Thanks so much.